Welcome to Imperfect in an Uncertain World, resources for living with authenticity and purpose. Have you ever wondered about the secret to happiness? What is the key to feeling that deep contentment that seeps into your bones and flows into the world when you're happy? Let's talk about that. Let's begin with what happiness is and what happiness is not. Happiness is not the absence of fear or frustration or sorrow. Happiness is the way we approach emotions and circumstances that threaten to flood us with a tsunami of hopelessness. Happiness is not a fleeting emotion, it's literally a way of life. It's a state of well being and contentment. So, once that happiness is cultivated, becomes a gift that you give yourself and share with others over and over and over again. It's like you exude happiness and people flock towards you. But how do we cultivate this gift within ourselves? So I'm going to go back to 2020. 2020 seems like decades of uncertainty and challenge instead of 12 months of upheaval. If you're like me, it was a year filled with many opportunities to either get trapped in the uncertainty or rise to the challenge of it. And really, as I sit and reflect upon the year, I'm amazed at everything that has occurred. I cannot believe how much my life, the life of my son, the lives of friends and colleagues really have changed. And unfortunately, the change has not always been for the better. It's been a really tough year. But these changes, whether we want to identify them as good changes or bad changes, let's just call them changes. Let's be neutral about it. These changes provide ample opportunity for the reframe. And while I admit that I am a master reframer, able to see the good, the potential in most situations, I have my moments of despair this year. And during this year, I've even questioned if I've been happy ever and what happiness looks like for me. So this year has really, for me, provided opportunity for the ultimate reframe. And in this ultimate reframe, there are many opportunities to create a way of life that's filled with contentment. And by contentment, I mean being grateful for what we have, acknowledging our blessings, and finding ways to expand the beauty in our lives. Okay, so I don't want you getting anxious. Breathe. This task really isn't such a tall order when we reflame. Let's just burn it. When we reframe the little bits. What if we begin to accept? We begin by accepting that happiness is rooted in being content and satisfied, but that contentment and satisfaction comes with an edge. So it's not the satisfaction of complacency, but the edgy satisfaction that comes from being content in the moment while setting goals and moving towards them. It's about being grateful for the good in your life while continuing to strive towards your dreams. So, how do you do this? Let's start with the little things. Acknowledge the small things in your life are those things that are working, the small things that are actually a big deal. Acknowledge the blessings. Those are the things that tip the scales in your favor or show you the glint of the silver lining. And then I'm going to say find at least one way each day to expand the beauty in your life. Okay, so that sounds really nebulous and intangible. So I'm going to give you some examples in my life, some tangible examples of how I do this. The small things. Even through the upheaval of the year and the loss of several income streams, I've got a part-time job and it pays most of my bills. the blessings, my relationships with my son, and the listening ear of friends. Expanded beauty, the daily reflection arcs that I share on Facebook and other social media sites, through Intent and Action on Facebook. These are a way to start my day and share my beauty with others and have them look at the world a little bit differently. Now I'm going to ask you to do it. What are the small things, the blessings, and the expanding beauty in your life? I'm not saying that this activity is always easy, and I'm saying some days you might only be able to find one or two. And some days you might say, I'm going to try again tomorrow. Sometimes we've got to dig deep into who we are to discover the small things, the blessings, and the beauty within. But through this acknowledgement, we are the gift we share first with ourselves and then with the world. So here's to the gift of rolling moments of small things, blessings, and beauty in 2021. I want to thank you for listening. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and even watching, because I'm sure you didn't have your eyes closed. Give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you feel like you need some help from a master reframer, reframing your life and really getting set on path, give me a shout. I'd love to work with you as a spiritual mentor. Additional resources are available at vanessafhurst.com. But no matter what you choose to do, no matter what, I'm going to ask you to really look for the small things, the blessings, and the beauty in your life. Have a terrific day.